So receive it on a pallet. It'll be strapped down with these orange straps here. You need your tractor to be prepped like this with the attachment off and ready for the saw attachment. It's a lot easier to do with the forklift, but you can do it with some other stuff. Let's go ahead and lift it up. You want to get it put on the right side of the frame.
Go down. More. Down. Boom.
Okay, once you get the top two on, then you can hinge it and put all your bolts in there. Obviously, you'll put in all of your nuts, but we're just putting this on to show you how to do it. So there's the traverse mounted to the tractor. I'm gonna let off on the straps. A lot easier to do with straps or endless loops or something than other things. And then the arm, you'll come over, you'll cut off the orange banding, and it will mount with those ears right here onto that swivel. The important part, that you got to have that in the right position. You got to line that up and put that pin in. Using a dead blow so you don't mar up the paint. Just tap that in. And you got to get those keepers. I should have lined that up better. Keep the bolt lined up, and then put one of those on that side, and you tighten it up. And then we've got these other keepers that go on the other side of the pin, right there. And you gotta line up this here, and you might have to lift it and
Or hook it up.
get it.
Come down a little bit.
A little bit too much.
Right about
Right there. And again, you know, line up the pin with the keeper. So that's it for the traverse and the arm. The hoses will all go through this little hose holder and then be attached. And then you take your saw off of the pallet, and then we'll meet you back over at the saw. There'll be some zip ties holding these hoses together. There's a couple that just hold the three main hoses together. Don't cut those, but cut all the others. Then we gotta take this pin out so we can get it onto that arm. Alright, you take the keeper bolt out, and this should slide on out of there. And then it's just a matter of lining up the saw. You're good, come down. And then it's just lining it up and getting it in the box. Once you get it in the box, it's a whole lot easier. We're just gonna slide the saw forward now. And then it's just get the pin in. Once you get that lined up, then you take your dead blow and drive it in.
I'll hit it.
You might have to pivot the thing to get it. Might be, it's easier sometimes to take the door off to see what you're dealing with. So, And you can see there's a small hole so you can drive the pin out if you need to take it apart. Once the pin's in, hopefully you have the keeper lined up, which I don't. And you wiggle it. Wiggle the body, saw body. Perfect. And you can get your keeper bolt in, and that's the last of the heavy stuff. And then it's hydraulics. Okay, then it's just hooking up hydraulics. You tighten the plugs so they don't leak. You have to loosen up all of them. This one, lift, there goes on this one here. Oh, I got a half inch. Need 9/16 and half-inch wrench. And let's see, is that the right one? That is the correct one. There's going to be a little bit of leaking, but that's hydraulics. Tighten them down, and we'll come back when we get all of them together. And these RTX 550s, they're really good about labeling all of their fittings and all of their levers here. So you just match whichever one you want. We typically do main body lift, saw, actual saw lifting up and down when you're cutting, and traverse. So just real simple bulkhead fitting, a real nice way Vermeer did this. Okay, now that you've got all of these hooked up, you got your traverse, you got your blade up and down, and you got your actual motor lift. You'll notice that is capped off there because we only have one line going to that. That is where this comes into play, and I will talk more about that when we get these caps off. This is the case drain coming from the motor. Plugs in there, and this hose goes underneath and then up onto that one that is capped off. Okay, so case drain, it's got that T on there, and that runs to the other side of the main lift circuit. The only thing that's left is to hook up your two hoses for your actual saw, and depending on which way you put those on, it'll switch which way you're rotating. But pretty simple, decently easy to put together. Makes it really easy if you've got a forklift available, but you can do this with a mini and with skid steer and 2 or 3 guys. And one thing that can happen is if you put it all together and you notice your blade's only spinning one direction, on an RTX 550, you got to come down to your attachment type. If it's only going one direction, no matter which way you turn the thing, you're in plow mode. I like to set these in trencher mode, and you go back, and then that will allow 40% forward movement, but it will also allow 100% positive and 100% negative. You can spin the blade forward and backwards. So that's it. That is how you put a SAW16 full attachment onto an RTX 550.